good, everybody? Corbino here, and this is our very first Thank God It's Wednesday video. These will be put out on the first Wednesday of every month, hopefully every month. Probably, it's a really good chance it'll be every month. I've been trying to start up this series for months now. At first I was like, I'll do it every Wednesday, or maybe I was like, but Wednesday's when I read the comics. And so I was like, maybe I'll put them out on Thursday, but then I was like, but then it's not really Thank God It's Wednesday. Anyways, because there's so many comics I want to talk about, but they don't warrant their own full video, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's a story arc or something. So I figured this is a way to let y'all know what we're reading over here. I mean, it'll mainly be me with the occasional Han or Andrew, I figure, but not many of the rest of the crew read comics as much as I do. I will talk about comics that came out that month with the occasional other comics in there, but most of the time it'll just be comics that came out throughout the month, and the first Wednesday of the following month is when we'll release these videos. So this video will be out on the first Wednesday of December, because this is all about November comics. And anyways, let's get started. First comic we're going to talk about is TMNT, the ongoing IDW series, issue 75. I guess I didn't realize this. I thought the original Ninja Turtle series went pretty far, but I guess none of the Ninja Turtle series went past like 72, 3, something like that, because they had it on like the cover or something about how it's finally gotten further than any Ninja Turtle series ever. Anyways, and this is an extra large size. It's $8, and it's a lot thicker than a regular issue. Anyways, this is the final part of the Trial of Krang. This has been a 3-part series, and then also it had the Dimension X series, so that was sort of more of it. And it's just about what they should do with Krang, because he's killed so many people. He's evil. He's tortured people. Should he be arrested? Should he go free? What, you know, etc. And so what's been going on with this Trial of Krang 3-part series is you've been having all the witnesses that have seen his terrible acts and what that we should do with him. You know, just a basic, it's been like a courtroom type drama thing. A little bit of action here and there. And the majority of this was the final of the courtroom stuff. And to be honest, it was kind of boring, because I don't want to just sit there and read a bunch of courtroom stuff. I can kind of watch it, you know, if it's in real life, but I definitely don't want to read it. And so anyways, courtroom drama, da-da-da-da-da. And really, the part I want to talk about is the fact that Leatherhead is the final witness that they're talking to, and they're saying something leaning towards maybe letting him go. We're not real sure if he's going to get let go, but they're like, we'll put him in prison, and Leatherhead doesn't like that. He's like, that is not justice for the torture I've been put through. What about all these people? If you don't want to help them, what about me? What have I been through all these years? He shouldn't just get to go be peaceful in a jail cell or go run free. So Leatherhead literally chomps Krang. And I had to do a double take. Like, I literally was reading, I was like, oh, okay, shoot, there's something happened. And then he has got like pink juice, and like, I assume that's what Krang ooze instead of blood coming out of his mouth, and he's like, justice. And I'm like, wait, what? And then I go back, and he ate Krang. Leatherhead ate Krang. What the hell? I didn't see that coming. So that was really dope. That was awesome. And I don't really know what to do about that. And the 2 Krangs that came to take Krang to jail, I think they're evil, because when they leave their dimension, they're talking about how they're hiding it from another General Krang or something, or another Utrom leader of theirs. Let me see what they say. Are we really going to inform Mariel, that's how I read it, Lieutenant? Oh, he's talking to the Lieutenant, okay. And he's like, no, we're not going to do that, because this incident, we're going to consider this incident military classified. And they're calling Mariel a turncoat, like she's a traitor to Krang, or the Utrom, I guess. Even though the Utrom used to be good people, but Krang and his father made them like crazy. So like, yeah, so I guess those 2 that were gonna take Krang were just gonna let him be free. So thank God Leatherhead ate him. And honestly, yeah. And also, that's crazy, because in the Turtles Through Time or whatever, I got it over there on the shelf. Paul Aller, God, such a great writer. And again, off topic. They have a map of the world, of like Earth, and Shredder has like it has the Foot Clan logo painted over like the North America, and then over on like Eurasia, you got painted over a Krang head. So that's like Krang taking it over, I guess. And this takes place in the future. So, and then over on Australia, it's got Baxter Stockman, a little fly. So you sort of assume that's Baxter Stockman. But Shredder died in issue like 50, and if now Krang's dead, then, I mean, I guess that future is definitely not coming to fruition. But I guess also in that future, Donnie was the only surviving turtle, but Donnie was the only turtle that died in our version. But then he, came back. But still, I'm not sure if Krang will stay dead, and I'm not even sure if Shredder will stay dead, because with comics, it's so hard to tell. I've never been a fan of that, but with Ninja Turtles, it's not like they do that every day. So, I mean, except for with Donnie, but besides the point. So, Krang is dead as of right now. Some Utroms are still trying to be evil, so I'm a little nervous about that. And now, the Neutrinos have agreed to help the Triceratons, because the Triceratons have been helping them, and they don't have a home anymore because of Krang. Krang destroyed the place they went to live, and they originally came from Earth because they're mutated Triceratops. And so they promised that they could go back to their rightful home, Earth. And so that's what they do, and it's like, crap, what's gonna happen? And the king of the Neutrinos says, hey, if the rest of the Earthlings are as resilient and honorable and tough as our 4 turtle friends and the others we've seen come from Earth, then I think they'll be okay when the Triceratons get there. But they don't know Earthlings that well. And so that brings us to TMNT issue 76. TMNT issue 76 starts the new story arc, Invasion of the Triceratons. And they're coming to Earth. And as soon as they get to Earth, they have a bunch of them up on the rooftop just keeping guard just in case. But 2 of them go down to talk to the Earthlings. And they tell them, hey, yo, we're here for peace. We just want to come live here at our rightful home. So how about we all live together? And the humans run off screaming as humans do, because that's not normal for them. And then Agent Bishop and his little agency or whatever, Earth Protection Unit, along with his mind-controlled Slash, show up, and he's like, yeah, no, you're welcome to be here on Earth. Just kidding, and has Slash attacked the Triceratons, so now the Triceratons start attacking them, a couple of them get killed, and it's like, the Triceratons, they're normally an evil race, but like, they're definitely a violent race. But in this series, they're not evil. They're literally just trying to come back to their home, Earth, their rightful home, and they want to live here in peace with the rest of the Earthlings. But they weren't having that crap, and so they started attacking the Triceratons. Now the Triceratons think, hello, these guys, I don't like Earth. We're gonna have to take it over now, and that's what sucks because they were coming in peace. And Agent Bishop, or regular Earthlings, how we normally act, weren't having that, of course, so that sort of ruins things. At the end of the issue, the Turtles come back and like, dudes, I think we missed something on our way back home. And the Turtles have been gone because they went, I haven't read Ghostbusters #2, or Ghostbusters TMNT #2. They did this crossover years back, and I haven't read the 5-part series yet. So they do something with the Ghostbusters. I don't know how they get there, but on their way back from issue 75 to 76, they get stopped by the Ghostbusters, and now they're back and like, yo, when we got stopped with those ghost dudes, something happened. And so, yeah, I really like that because it points out how scared Earthlings are of a lot of things. If they're not used to it, they just can't handle it, All New Wolverine #26, Orphans of X. This issue takes Dakin, or Dakin, however you pronounce it. I believe I always normally say Dakin. He's Logan's son, or Laura's brother. He is waking up, his arm's gone, which we saw that in an earlier issue, and he's woken up and he's being tortured by people with a mask that has an X on it, and they're the Orphans of X. And they're torturing him, and he has to get out of there, but he sees that they're watching Laura and her family at one of their houses. And Laura's mom is also back, and that's a little like, whoa, how did her mom come back? She's been dead for years, so we're not sure about that yet. But anyways, Laura's hanging out with her family and doesn't really know what to do, and Dakin tries to disguise himself as one of the Orphans of X, and they realize it's not him because he's missing an arm, and all these dogs start attacking him, and it's a whole thing. And then a bunch of Orphans of X start attacking Dakin, and they're shooting at him, and he has to throw dogs at them. The dogs like attack the orphans. A very action-packed issue, and you never really see Dakin do anything anymore in comics. At least the comics I'm reading, I never really hear about him anymore. So it's nice that he's come back in All New Wolverine, and he's having a big part in these last few issues. How the issue ends is Dakin driving to where Laura's at, getting shot at, getting followed the whole way there, and Laura like sniffs it or hears it or whatever, you know, Wolverines do, and she's got to go outside, and it kind of reminds me of like what happens next kind of reminds me of like a Walking Dead thing with Carl, because Carl's always like, alright, I'm going with you, and they're always like, no, you're staying behind. It's like, I'm not a kid anymore. They're like, no, we need you to stay and protect these people. And that's what happens here is Gabby, Laura's clone, is like, alright, let's go kick some butt. She's like, no, you're staying in here. She's like, no, I can help you fight. I'm not a kid. And she's like, no, that's exactly why I'm keeping you here. You have to protect the family while I go out and see what's happening. And if something happens, then you have to get them to safety. And she's like, alright, cool, cool. And I like it. I don't know if it's them manipulating the children or if it's them actually believing in the children, being like, yeah, you can handle this all on your own. So I don't know, but I love Gabby's character. I love her. I've loved getting to know her throughout the all-new Wolverine story arc. Anyways, so Wolverine goes out in the streets, and Dakin's out there, and she's like, yo, what's going on, Dakin? And he's like, we gotta get out of here. These people are following me. They're shooting at me. And she's like, who? And they look back, they listen, they sniff. Ain't nobody behind him anymore. And he's like, what in the world is going on? And he's got his gun, and Laura's like, you need to chill out. You gotta calm down, Dakin, and we gotta figure out what's going on. And that's how that issue ends. I just find it to be a very action-packed, fun issue, and it's nice that Dakin's really coming back in the comics. And also, the Orphans of X story arc part 2 has already come out, but it wasn't nice enough to talk about it. But still, Orphans of X story arc has been doing very well, and I am really enjoying it. Let's talk about Marvel's Runaways number 3. Now, the Runaways are back. They're back. I'm going to do a review for them maybe when their first trade comes out. But as of right now, I'm just going to review them monthly. And we're at issue 3, and it's awesome. Gert, I'm not going to recap the rest of the issues because go read them yourselves. Gert, Nico, and Chase and Old Lace are back together, and they're at Carolina's dorm, and they're like, hey, we gotta get the band back together. And she's like, no, I got a good life, a girlfriend, I'm doing great in school, and I love going to school. I'm not just gonna up and leave for our misadventures again. We're not even in danger anymore. It's pointless. They're trying to get Carolina to go with them, and finally they're like, no. She's like, no, I'm not going. And they realize, they're like, okay, we understand. I mean, Gert's not really understanding why they don't want to get back together. And Nico is talking to Gert. They're talking to Carolina, and she's like, yo, the only reason why I'm doing this is because I have nothing else. I'm alone. I'm bored, and I miss you guys. I miss this adventures, so that's why I'm going. So they leave, and Carolina stays where she's at. Also, in a previous issue, they find Victor's head, and they're keeping it with them, and now he is recording them, but we don't really know what's going on, if it's Victor's just body like rebooting or backing up and recording, or if someone's controlling him, or what's going on there. But Victor has been recording the Runaways while being in the van, so I'm a little nervous about that. And then the last page of the issue shows a woman or man coming down a set of steps in a lab coat, and you see one thought bubble coming off screen saying, are you Molly? And then the other person says, no, but you'll meet Molly very soon, dear. And I don't know what that means, because it seemed like Molly was about to get kidnapped, but also, who are these people and why will we meet Molly soon? Is Molly evil? Is she brainwashed? I don't know. But bringing back the Runaways how they has been great. They've done it very well, and I can't wait to see what else they've got in store for us. And I love the Runaways, so I'm just pumped. So let's keep this series going how it's going. Okay, next we're going to talk about is Walking Dead 173. The last issue ended with Beta returning what I thought was the last surviving Whisper, but I guess there are a few others left. And seems like he's about ready to kill Jesus and Aaron, but Jesus kicks ass, of course. Aaron helps him out. They kick his ass, and they kill him. I believe they kill him. Do they kill him? Because they shoot at him, they hit him, they stab at him, they fight him, and he gets knocked out, but then he wakes back up and starts screaming because they poured off his face. He's like, no, I don't have a name, I don't have a name. But then he just goes, what? And like pops back to the ground, and like I didn't see how he fell back down. I don't know if he just like fainted back down, or if it hit him, or if he did die when he fell back over, did they stab him or what? But later in the issue, they do say they took care of him, so I'm assuming he is dead. But Jesus and Aaron say, they're like, holy crap, he kind of looks like, and they don't say the name, but they say he looks, I believe, like a basketball player. So that's kind of cool that he was once a famous basketball player, and this world has made him go so crazy that he is Kuka for Kuka Puss wearing zombie skin. So that's kind of cool. And Jesus and Aaron find a whisper camp, only a few whispers there. And the whispers have what seem to be, I think it's a family of 3 or 2. It's like a dad, a son, maybe a daughter, or like a friend of the family, I don't know. But 3 survivors, and the dad's already in his zombie skin, and the kids are like, I don't want to wear zombie skin, that's so weird, no, and they're like, and stop calling yourselves your names, you don't have names anymore. And they're like, that's so weird, why would you do that? And Jesus and Aaron show up, take out the rest of the whispers, and they're like, hey, yo, there was a big, tall whisperer out there, and like, we took care of him. So I assume that means Beta and the rest of the whisperers are dead, unless there's random whisperers out there. But it seems like the rest of the whisperers have been taken care of. And now we have 3 new survivors that are going to join us, and I don't think there'll be 2 main, but still it'd be nice to get to see them and what we're doing, you know, what they're all about. Okay, so we're rebuilding the hilltop because the whisperers have destroyed it. And Maggie and Dante's always trying to make the moves on Maggie, and she's never having it because she thinks Glenn is her one and only, and no one else can ever replace him. Which, I understand that, but it's also kind of stupid because Maggie, everybody, like, people move on after their loved ones pass. And finally, Dante's, like, talking to her, and he's like, you know what, I'll leave you alone. And as he leaves, she's like, Dante, wait. And I'm like, ooh, is she finally gonna be nice to him and give him a chance? But I don't know. And we also see that Sophia is carrying a bunch of stuff. She keeps coming by, and Carl and Lydia are down eating, and they're taking a break, and Sophia drops some of her stuff, and Carl goes and helps her pick up her stuff, and, you know, they're laughing, having a good time for a little bit. You know, they've been together since the very beginning. And you see Lydia's face like, oh, bitch, no you don't, that's my man. And it's sort of like, Lydia, you need to calm that down because Sophia and Carl are meant to be anyways. But also, it's like, are you going to try to kill my girl Sophia? Like, skedaddle on out of here, Sophia. Or, nope. It's like, skedaddle on out of here, Lydia. Okay, and we know that Rick had accidentally killed Dwight's ex-wife. I can't even think of her name for some reason. Anyways, Dwight's been looking at Rick pretty evil lately. And so Laura, the girl that Dwight's been having a thing for lately, or for a long time now at this point, and she's telling him, she's like, stop looking at Rick like he killed her. She killed herself. She's a piece of garbage. She treated you like crap. She chose to sleep with Negan. She didn't have to do that. And you're going to sit here and mourn and be sad and being a little bitch about it. And she was a piece of crap too anyways. So I'm done with your crap, Dwight. I'm out of here. And like, she's been putting up with Dwight's crap trying to be with him. She's like, so I'm out of here. And if you want to stop feeling sorry for yourself and sorry for that bitch, then maybe I'll still be interested when you're done doing this. Come look for me afterwards. And I'm like, yeah, you tell him, Laura. And so maybe Dwight will get his shit together and stop looking at Rick like Rick did something evil. And finally, we got our survivor group on the go. We got Sadiq, Eugene, Magna, Yumiko, Michonne. I think it's 5 of them. And then they got their new person, what's her name? Something Sanchez, but she goes by the Princess. She's like very new, like 2 issues new or something. So we got 6 people, 5 of ours and 1 new possible one of ours. And they're they're almost to their meeting group where they're going to meet the people Eugene's been talking to on the walkie since the beginning of, the all new beginning for them. And they're walking through a train yard. They're finally getting ready to meet them. And they're like, they should be here. No, we should just go. I don't feel right about this. No, they'll be here for us. They won't. She's not screwing us over. I know her. And all this drama. And then the new girl, Princess, is like, guys. And then you cut and you got so many, I'm assuming so many people, because it's a loud scream. It's like, put your weapons down, put your hands up. And you see like little guns and knives pointed at them and stuff. And all the groups like, put their hands up. And so that's how we left off. And it's like, I don't like that, but I don't know. And I'm going to go ahead and just say this. The next 2 issue covers, the next issue is Negan sitting by a campfire. And I'm assuming it's going to get back to what Negan's been doing, because he he had to leave the communities. And the following issue is like 3 people in like armored suits or whatever, like kind of like stormtrooper gear, but probably better. And I think it's like a New World Order is the title that it has. So what's that mean? Is that what Eugene and Michonne and them are about to get wrapped up in? I don't know, but it's good. I love The Walking Dead. Read it. Next issue we're going to talk about is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from Boom Studios, number 20. This was a dope issue. I was kind of nervous about it because this girl, I don't even remember her name, but she's been popping up in the last couple issues of Power Rangers. Seems kind of evil, but apparently not. She was the original red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. And it's really awesome because in the series, this issue literally just, it's the entire issue is her telling her flashback of being a Power Ranger and their mission on the moon to stop the Green Psycho Ranger. How awesome is that? We have the blue, red, black, pink, yellow Psycho Rangers, and I believe Zane pretended to be a silver Psycho Ranger, so we got to see a silver Psycho Ranger costume, but we never saw a green Psycho Ranger. And in this issue, we get to see the Green Psycho Ranger, and they fight him, but it's the craziest issue. I was very mind blown by it, because first off, the Red Ranger is a female. First red female Power Ranger we've seen in at least the American versions, and not counting how the new ones can change into any Power Ranger they please. So, and it's the first black female Ranger, the first male pink Ranger, and then I believe yellow was a guy and blue was blue was also a guy. Okay, yeah, but we've already seen yellow guys before. Anyways, it was really cool, and they were all very different ethnicities and races and beliefs. And I believe it was the Yellow Ranger who was like a Russian guy, and he was really not about being on the team. Maybe it was the Blue Ranger, but either way, there was a Russian guy who really wasn't didn't want to be a part of the team. And the blue, pink, and yellow, I want to say, are the ones they get killed by the Green Psycho. They literally get killed. And I had to do a double take. I had to go back and read those pages because I didn't believe they just were killing Rangers so quickly like this. And they had, I believe, the Red Ranger for sure, and I believe the Black Ranger are the ones that survived and came back. Or maybe it was another guy. I don't remember. But either way, only 2 Rangers survived and came back. And Zordon was like, okay, you did what I needed you to do. Give me back your powers. You're not Power Rangers anymore. And they're like, what the heck? No, we can still do so much good. And so the Red Ranger starts up her own like company, business, agency, facility thing, whatever. Big words, starts up her own thing of a way to be a Power Ranger and help the world without actually being a Power Ranger. So it was a really fun issue because you got to see different people being Power Rangers, different people being Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You got to see, it took place in like the 60s or 70s, probably the 70s because it was after the moon landing. You got to see a Green Psycho Ranger. You got to see just Rangers getting killed so quickly, and Zordon was kind of a dick. He was just very hostile and real and serious. So it was a fun issue. Next comic we're going to talk about is Avengers 673. It's real quick and short, but this is part 3 of Worlds Collide, where the Avengers and Champions are teaming up because another world has been colliding with theirs, and the comics are confusing, but either way, the dude, whatever his name is, I don't know, but he's been in comics for years. He changed Vision into a human. We have Falcon and Vision on this other planet or world or whatever, and they're doing their own thing over here. But the main thing is Viv got changed into a human, like I want to say like a mixed girl, like black kind of looking, and so that was just it was kind of weird, kind of different, and I definitely do not want Viv to be human at all. So let's get her back to, a robot, or synthezoid, android, whatever. I don't know what they are exactly. I figure she'll be back to normal in the next couple issues, but still, I just wanted to talk about that real quick because that really threw me off. I didn't expect Viv to become a human. It came out of nowhere, and also I didn't expect her to be black or mixed or whatever she is. So that I always pictured Vision to be a white guy. So maybe his wife was black. I don't know. Next comic we're going to talk about is Invincible 142 robot or part 1 of 1. When I saw this, I was like, well, that makes no sense. Part 1 of 1, but how does that even work? And then I was like, well, crap, maybe entire robot thing's gonna happen in one issue. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And it feels a little thicker, that's what she said, but it may not be. Either way, if you read Invincible, you know robot's been a whole threat thing for a long time now. And this is a really awesome way to conclude the whole story with Robot. Robot kidnaps the Viltrumites' children and wives or husbands, their families, and says, you have to fight Mark and the people against me, or I'm gonna kill them. So the Viltrumites attack Mark and them, but Mark gets all the superheroes on Earth, and well, most of them, you know, the ones that are against Robot. Eve gathers up all the children of Thrag, and they're like, hey, yo, time to kick some ass. And there's a dope scene where it's like all of them going to battle, and I just picture like music to start playing, like, you know, like crazy going to war music. Robot's like, you're outnumbered, and the Mark, da-da-da-da-da. Robot's got all these robots and the Viltrumites, but then Mark grabs, I don't remember any of the Viltrumites' names except for a handful, but the one with the little like red goggle, little monocle thing, you know him if you read Invincible. He said, he was like, hey, I'm getting your kids back, so tell the others, pull their punches, or I'm not getting them back. So yeah, and so they all start working together, and they're kicking butt, and oh my god, Robot like grabs Invincible. He's like, you can't just leave it alone, you always have to fight, da-da-da-da-da. Monster Girl's fighting Robot. He's like taking her son, and she's like, no, beating the crap out of him. She's like, did you ever love me? And he's like, yeah, I loved you. Well, I think I did. I just don't really know exactly what love is. And she's like, hey, well, Robot's in this one. This is the one the actual robot he's in. And so Mark comes, grabs him, and takes him out to space. And they sit up there, and he loses. He's so far away from his robots, he doesn't have control of them anymore. Everyone else stays on Earth and does their thing. The robots get knocked out. Mark and Robot start talking, and they're talking about everything that's happened, and Robot's like, you know I'm right, Mark. Mark's like, no, you're not. But he's like thinking, damn, he is kind of right. Which he is kind of right, but not in the way, you know, went about it. Anyways, and so Mark has to figure out a way to stop Robot, and so he stabs straight through him, like straight through the chest, kills him, but he saves his brain, and he talks to Immortal Man. Mr. Immortal? Immortal Man, right? Or just Immortal? Dang, I need to reread it. Either way, he talks to him, and he's like, you're in charge now, you're gonna keep this world safe, keep it at peace and whatnot. So I got you Robot's brain, and that'll take care of everything, and we'll get everything back to normal. And the end of the issue shows Eve introducing Mark to Anissa's husband, baby girl, and son, which is also Mark's son. And you know how that came about if you read Invincible. And yeah. Final comic we're going to talk about is Doomsday Clock number 1 out of 12. We've been waiting for it. DC Rebirth has been doing some great stuff with the whole DC Rebirth anything, you know, just they're doing great. We've got the Button, we've got Metal, we've got the Oz Effect, and now we finally got to Doomsday Clock. And with the Button, we all thought, we're going to find out so much, but we didn't find out too much, just a lot of teases. And then at the end of the 4-part arc, it's like Doomsday Clock coming November, and I was like, what the, I don't have time to wait. And I was like, oh, this is gonna take forever, but here it is. I feel like just yesterday, I was like, it's gonna take forever, but here it is, and I'm pumped. And Asylum Comics, where I got my issue, posted on Facebook saying, man, I knew I should have ordered more Doomsday Clock, and I was like, crap, they sold out, no, and I got there, they had 2 issues left, 1 regular cover and 1 variant with my boy Rorschach, and you change it, and he's got Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman on his face, and Rorschach is my boy. But I mean, Rorschach's awesome. I had to reread it. I got a little confused with a lot of stuff. But so we got Rorschach narrating stuff, talking, you know, just recapping stuff. And Rorschach's back. And I'm like, but you're dead. But it's not really Rorschach. He breaks out some girl called the Marionette, which I haven't read before Watchmen, I've only read Night Owl, Dr. Manhattan, Dollar Bill, maybe the Minutemen. Did I say Rorschach? Rorschach. And so I still got others to read, so maybe these characters would have been introduced. Or maybe they're in the original Watchmen series and I don't remember. I don't know. It's got, Rorschach is breaking out the marionette and the mime out of jail. And, you know, there's violence and killing. And this guy isn't really Rorschach. He takes off his glove and he's got a black hand. So, or it looked like a black hand. So who is this guy and why is he pretending to be Rorschach is what I'd like to know. And either way, he does a pretty good Rorschach, and what's also awesome is my thing is, I can't ever dress up as my favorite superheroes or favorite video game characters or whatever, because I can never get too accurate, because they're either female or they're white. But now, I can dress, I mean, even though with Rorschach I would have my mask on, so it wouldn't be really noticeable, but still, there's a black Rorschach now, so it worked. So now I'm like, who the heck's this guy, and why is he black? And we reunite with Ozymandias, and he's hiding out in the old Night Owl cave. And nobody knows what happened to Night Owl or Silk Spectre. A lot of people think that they all killed themselves, or somebody killed them, and they're hanging out in Night Owl's old cave, and Ozymandias has like a pet of Bubastis, a little baby of Bubastis. Maybe he cloned him, or found another thing of his species. That's Ozymandias' weird pet tiger cat thing that he killed, and now he has a new one, but it's like red instead of like a purpley color. It's like real small and red in his hands, and they're like, oh crap, you monster, we're gonna kill you, we know what you did. And he's like, alright, chill, me and Rorschach are working together here, and we've got to get some people together because we have to find out where Dr. Manhattan went. He left our world, and it shows a flashback of him being like, I'm gonna leave this world, find a better one. And I maybe thinking maybe that's when he goes to DC, I don't know. Either way, the issue was overall good, but pretty confusing, and it ends with Clark sleeping in bed with Lois, and he has a nightmare of his parents crashing. And he says, it's how my parents died, but also I don't know much about Superman, so maybe his parents, you know, have changed. But I thought his mom was alive and his dad was dead, and his dad died. I don't know how I thought his dad died, but either way, both of his parents, I guess, died in a car crash in DC, at least in the newer story arcs. I didn't know that. And he had a nightmare, and Lois is like, I don't know the last time you had a nightmare. And Superman's like, I don't know if I've ever. And that's it. It was a very confusing issue. When we hung out with Rorschach, the marionette, and the mime was very fun. It hurt me a little that wasn't the real Rorschach, but I was also confused on how it could be the real Rorschach. I can't wait for the next issue. When this entire series is over, I will definitely do a review on all 12 issues. But as of right now, I'll just do them every month. And it was good, a little confusing, but it was good. Definitely pick it up, obviously, so you can see what awesomeness DC is doing. But the Doomsday Clock, I'm excited for everything. I don't know exactly what to think about it all, but yeah. Also about these Thank God It's Wednesday videos, they will obviously have major spoilers when I talk about each of the comics. I'm going to try to make sure every comic is from this month, or the month that we're talking about, but there's no promises. Also, they'll be filmed at different times. Some may be filmed after a couple weeks of getting comics, some may be filmed that same day or the next day. So you're going to see me change. My hair might be longer, it might be shorter. I might not have glasses, I might have a different shirt on, etc., because they will be filmed at different times, and they'll be put together all at once. You know what I'm saying? Either way, I hope you enjoy this new series. We'll put out every month, hopefully. And yes, thank God it's Wednesday. This video is sponsored by Bullymake. Bullymake is a subscription box that comes straight to your door every month. It is a little on the pricier side, but if you'd like to get a discount, you can use the promo code IG10, and that'll let them know that we sent you. And if you're dog fans, this is the box for you, because your dog will not be tearing through their toys anymore. I promise you that. These chew toys and treats, they're gonna last them. I mean, the treats won't, but the chew toys sure as hell will.
Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and remember to stay geeky!